Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Spastic1477 here again with another review today. Today we'll be reviewing uh, a game that came out many years ago, Pikmin, for the Nintendo GameCube. Um, the one that I have the gameplay of in the corner there is actually the, I would say remake, but it's not really a remake. They just kind of updated it so that you could use motion controls with the Wii. So it's the Wii version of the original game. Pikmin's basically a game where you're a little dude called Captain Olimar, and you're flying through space, and you get hit by this huge ass asteroid that sends you into, like, you get wrecked, like absolutely destroyed by this asteroid, and it sends you into this planet you've never even been to before. And upon entry of the planet, your ship breaks up, and you lose 30 parts of your ship, and you land in this area that's kind of like a starting zone, and you find this foreign spaceship that he decides to call an onion because it literally looks like a fucking onion, which spits out these little seeds which then grow and you pull them out, and according to him they look like a fucking carrot, so he calls them Pikmin because they look like a pick carrot or some shit. Yeah. And he gets these little Pikmins to help rebuild his shit. Like, they find the pieces and the Pikmin will carry them and shit. That's basically the synopsis story of the game. Overall, the game's actually a lot of fun. It's kind of like a top-down, diagonal strategy adventure sort of thing. RPG, yeah. So basically the aim of the game is to rebuild your ship within 30 days before your oxygen supply runs out and you fucking die. There's like 5 different areas and there's 30 pieces of your shit you've got to find, and you've got to use them. You got to find them using like Pikmin and shit. Yeah. Overall, the game's pretty well designed. The camera can be a bit frustrating at times, and with the motion controls, it does get really fucking annoying when your cursor isn't where you want it to be, and you start throwing Pikmin into water and they drown and shit. But that's really the only problems I have with the game, is that the motion controls fucking suck, and the camera is sometimes like just hard to control, which is a regular staple among these type of RPGs with their type of view style. The graphics coming from a game that was made for the GameCube era are actually not that bad. They're actually quite good. The textures and stuff, you can tell they haven't just been laid on, and they're not like, it's not like an object and it's got a texture, like it's not a round sphere and it's got like a fucking, like a texture for a rock or something just laid onto it. The textures are actually like put on things properly, and it makes it look like what it's supposed to be. The music in the game is actually really nice too. It helps create the atmosphere where you play the game. It helps to kind of set where you are in the story. Like if you're underground, it'll play like a kind of mellowy theme, and it's like you're underground. You know you're underground. And if you're in the starting area, it's kind of got to be like an upbeat because it's out in the middle of the day. It looks like a little field type of thing. It's really cool. So the music is really good in that way, helping create atmosphere and helping create like help set the feel of where you are. I had a lot of fun when I was playing this game. I've got a little bit of gameplay in the corner there. You can see what's going on. The game has a lot of different elements to it. So you've got 3 different types of Pikmin, and each Pikmin has their own kind of special thing. Like the blue Pikmin can breathe underwater, red Pikmin are fire resistant, and yellow Pikmin, they're actually probably the most useful Pikmin in this game. The yellow Pikmin, you can throw them higher. You can, they pick up bomb rocks, which is useful to breaking down these rock walls. As you can see up the back in this little clip there, that's a rock wall that you break down with like bombs. You can throw them higher, and they're also resistant to electricity, which is very useful in one of the later stages of the game where you come across these electric fences that they must break down. The way the Pikmin are used in this game, which is the whole reason the game is called Pikmin, the game basically revolves around their mechanics of being able to lift, kind of break down walls, like repair things, attack. Yeah, it kind of revolves around that whole concept there. of them being able to do that. It's very interesting, like the way it's been integrated to the game, because it's actually a very like interesting concept that hasn't been seen before, and it works really well in this game. When I played the game, I didn't have a lot of troubles with it. Like, there are times where there are enemies which are incredibly hard, but I mean, I've played this game many times over, completed it. I know maybe about 5-6 times, 100%. And I had lots of fun every time I played it. Like, there's always something new I find, and there's always something new to do. Like, like the replay value of the game is very good, because you don't need every piece of the ship to be able to complete the game. You just get a better sort of like a feeling of accomplishment when you actually have every piece of the ship. But yeah, like and the enemies in the game are actually really well designed too. There's lots of different ways your Pikmin can be absolutely fucking murdered. They can be set on fire, they can be eaten, they can be squashed, they can be fucking drowned, they can be electrocuted, and they can even be plucked up and then like thrown back into the ground. Like, so you have to re-pluck them out of these fucking bug-ass things that fly around and just pick up your Pikmin for no reason. They get eaten. Like, Jesus, some of the deaths in this game are fucking brutal. But it's lots of fun, and the game can be very unforgiving. Like, you could have 100 of each Pikmin one day, and then finish that day with fucking nothing. It's happened to me so many times, and it's really frustrating. But the next day, you get one Pikmin of each kind of color that's been wiped out. So the game's not unforgiving in that sense. Like, if you lose all your Pikmin, you immediately lose the game. It's just a really massive setback that you have it, because there's 30 days and there's 30 pieces of your ship. So it's basically one day for every piece, but you can make it so you're collecting more than one piece a day. The game is the days are very long. They're about, I'll say 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not sure the exact time. I should have done a bit of study before I came in and just started saying random shit. But yeah, like, the days are quite long, and it does have enough time for you to like explore and shit and gather more than one piece for your ship. Overall, the game's a lot of fun, and every time I play it, I have a lot of fun with it. The music's great, the graphics for the era is great, the controls are pretty meh just because of the motion controls, but on the GameCube, the controls are really smooth, it controls quite nicely. The camera is a bit fucking, like, average. Like, it's what you expect from this kind of view of an RPG. It's not the best, but it works well with what they were trying to do. So yeah, I really like this game. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to give it about a 7.5 out of 10, just because it's not perfect, and there are lots of times that I've become frustrated and I didn't know why, like, what to do. The game's doesn't really have a sort of like, what am I doing sort of thing. But other than that, it's lots of fun. The game works really well. It's just a lot of fun to play. Like, the graphics and music and stuff, I'll give it for the era, I'll give it like a 9 out of 10. That was pretty good. Pretty good, really good. Like, a 9 out of 10 is really good. And my personal enjoyment, you know, that's a 9 out of 10 too. I love this game. I have so much fun with it every time I play it. And that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like. If you like me, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.